The White House is furious. They're really, really upset that babies will live. There will be babies today who are not murdered in the state of Texas. There will be babies today who will go on and have a long life, and in 10 and 20 years you'll be able to talk to these babies who are alive because this law is in effect. And the White House is furious about it. They consider it an extreme threat.
On abortion, we've seen in a number of states, Republican-led states, an effort on voting rights, for instance, to pass similar legislation throughout the country on voting rights. What's the level of concern at the White House that the decision on Texas specifically will lead to a similar raft of laws across the country? And what is the recourse for the White House at a federal level to help prevent this?
Well, the step that can be taken is the codification of Roe, something the president, the vice president have called for and would require Congress to act on. I will note that certainly we've seen, this is not the first threat to Roe we've seen in a state across the country. It's an extreme threat. And again, I would just note, this is offering up to $10,000 to individuals who report someone who is going to get an abortion. I mean, that is what we're talking about here. So, and beyond that, as I've already outlined.
Based. To use the lingo of the kids, based, awesome, great, love it. This is a great, great way. By the way, you're going to hear that this law is punishing women. It's going to throw women in jail. It's not. It's not. You don't get to sue the women. You sue the abortionists, and you sue the little minions of the abortionist, and you sue all the cads and the degenerate men paying for the abortions. You get to sue all of them. Those are the people who are targeted here, and it is an extreme threat to Roe versus Wade. What Jen Psaki is admitting here, by the way, is that Roe versus Wade is a ridiculous decision. That's her admission. When she is asked by this leftist activist reporter, he's saying, "How do we stop it? How do we stop it?" He's saying, she says, well, what we have to do is codify Roe versus Wade into law. Why do we have to codify Roe versus Wade into law? Because it's a weak decision. There is no constitutional right to an abortion. Even if you're the strongest abortion supporter in the world, it just isn't there. It just doesn't exist. And even the intellectual and the intellectually honest leftists who support abortion and look at Roe versus Wade, they will tell you the case does not have very much constitutional merit. And so now they're saying we need to codify it into law. You have to codify it into law because it's a ridiculous decision. And if there is justice, even a little bit of justice in this world, it ought to be overturned. CNN freaking out about this. They've brought on their chief legal analyst, Jeffrey Toobin. Jeffrey Toobin has a lot of personal expertise on creepy sex questions. As you will recall, he lost one of his jobs some months ago because he was caught having sex with someone he loves on camera on a Zoom meeting with his colleagues. So Jeffrey Toobin, and that event involved one person other than the spectators. So Jeffrey Toobin is back on CNN, and Jeffrey Toobin, often like I do on this show, we don't do that. We don't have that in common. But one thing we do have in common is that occasionally on air we will say, I told you so. And Jeffrey Toobin did tell you so when it came to Roe versus Wade.
Donald Trump ran for president saying, I will appoint justices to the Supreme Court who will vote to overturn Roe v. Wade. He has 3 appointees on the court. There are 3 other appointees on the court, Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, and John Roberts, who have spoken out against Roe v. Wade before, although Roberts has later said he supports the precedent. But there are 5 justices, it appears, the 3 Trump appointees, plus, there they are on the screen, plus Thomas and Alito, who seem like solid votes to overturn Roe v. Wade. You know, we've been accused, those of us who have been saying that Roe is about to be overturned, as being Chicken Little, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. We'll see, because it certainly looks like the sky is falling now.
The sky is falling because fewer babies will be killed in Texas. Don't forget, you're going to be told that women have a right, they have a sacred, constitutional, natural right to kill their children. They don't. They don't have that right. But you're going to be told, only focus on this. Only focus on the poor abortionist who's just trying to scrape by and feed his family by committing infanticide at Planned Parenthood. Just think about him. Don't forget, this involves a baby. And that's not just an abstract. It's not just a hypothetical. There will be babies who are permitted to live because of this law. And you will have to look them in the eye, at least on camera. They'll look at you and you'll see them. And you will have to explain, at least to yourself, why you think that it would be better if they were killed, why you think that it's wrong that they were permitted to live. Jeffrey Toobin's going to have to do that. But Jeffrey Toobin is an abortion supporter, not just in theory. He tried to pay off his mistress to kill his child, and his mistress wouldn't do it. And now he's got the child, and he's going to have to look that kid in the eye someday, if he has a relationship with that kid, and explain why he tried to kill that baby, and why he still supports the right, quote unquote, of people to kill babies just like him all over the country. I love Raycons. They are a better product than some of the other brands on the market. All right, I'm gonna try to be nice about it, but look, Raycons, they don't have the little stems sticking out so you don't look like a bug. They don't only come in one color. They come in a lot of cool, stylish colors. Great fit of their gel tips for your comfort. They sound better. They work better. They've got a 32-hour battery life. I love my Raycons. Okay, and especially when my sweet little baby starts crying. Whether I'm in the house, maybe we're on a plane or in the car, it's nice to know that I can just pop in my Raycons and have a nice little bit of peace and quiet. They're really great. They start at half the price of other premium audio brands, but they sound just as good. They actually sound better if you ask me. Raycons comes with a 45-day happiness guarantee, so you really can't lose. Give them a try. You will see what I mean. Great way to listen to really good audiobooks like Speechless. Create your own soundtrack with Raycon. Right now, my listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/Knowles. That's buyraycon.com/Knowles. Save 15% on Raycons. You're going to love them. Tell me how much you love them. Buyraycon.com/Knowles. CNN's legal analyst, Jeffrey Toobin, is really upset about the new Texas pro-life law. Because he supports the abstract right to abortion and also because he has tried to pay to procure abortions himself. According to this law, if he did what he has done in Texas, he could be sued for at least $10,000 plus attorney fees. So he's got a real personal interest here in making sure that these babies don't get to live. And now he's going after the court. He's trying to sway the court. And so he goes on television and he says, look, the institutional reputation of the court is at stake here.
Here we are on September 1st, the first day since 1973 when a state has been able to ban abortion. 1973 is the year of Roe v. Wade. And the Supreme Court has said nothing. They have allowed the second most famous opinion of the last 100 years after Brown v. Board of Education to essentially be violated, be overrun, but they haven't even said a word about it, which strikes me as a real blow against the Supreme Court's institutional reputation, aside from the issue of whether this law is right or wrong.
A real blow against the Supreme Court's reputation, regardless of whether the law is right or wrong. I don't think that's true. You know what I think was a blow against the Supreme Court's reputation? Roe versus Wade. I think Roe v. Wade was a huge blow against the court's reputation because it showed that the court was nothing more than a partisan political lawmaking body rather than a judiciary. I think that aside from the issue of whether you think abortion is right or wrong, I think we all should be able to admit Roe versus Wade was the attack on the court's reputation. And they can either make that right now or they can persist in error and humiliation and degradation of the court. There's a woman, some Brooklyn chick who's apparently a medical doctor. Her name is Dara Cass. And I think she shows you some of the hysteria you're going to see from the left media on this issue. She tweeted out, "Get on birth control now. Any form that is reliable. Oral contraceptives, NuvaRing, Norplant, IUD, something now. Now, hurry." So what she's admitting here is that the left uses abortion as birth control, as contraception. But it's obviously not contraception because the baby is conceived and then they just kill it. What she's admitting is there are a lot of leftists who are so cavalier about abortion, about killing babies, that they won't even put on a condom. That's all right, we'll just deal with it later with abortion. The left tells us they don't do that, but then she's just admitted they do. Beyond that point, get on birth control now. Anything, NuvaRing, IUD, do something. I've got another idea. How about you just have babies like they do in normal civilizations that are not dying? How about you just do that? I know this is a crazy radical idea. How about you just be open to life and have babies and actually fully give of your love to another person and then make your life better by having a baby? A lot of people can't have babies. It's a hard thing. There are a lot of people who struggle with infertility, okay? Who would give their limbs, who would cut off an arm, at least, to have a baby. And this cavalier woman. You know, we are a dying civilization. I mean that in a very technical way. We are not having enough children to continue as a civilization. And this has been true for decades now, and it seems to be getting worse and worse each year. And other civilizations are having babies because they're lively, and we're dying, and we're decayed, and something's gone really rotten within us, which is how you get creepy statements like this. This woman goes on, she goes, if you find out you're pregnant and do not want to be, you have very little time to do it. Do not shut down. This will be hard, but you can't delay. Call me. We will figure this out together. What a psycho. This woman is saying, call me and I will kill your child. This is what demons sound like. Okay? This is, if you want to know, you read the Bible or you read accounts of demons throughout history and in stories, in myth, in history, in real stories. You say, what does a demon sound like? A demon sounds like that lady. Call me now. Don't let them stop you from killing. I'll help you. I'll kill your baby. Give me your baby. Ah. Good grief, lady. What? This is scary stuff. And I mention it. I mean, it's so obvious with her. But you're going to hear this kind of stuff from a lot of people. And don't forget who the prince of this world is, okay? Don't forget, this is a fallen world. There's a lot of bad stuff here. But you're going to hear these same kinds of things from people in the media, from politicians, maybe from people you know. And when you hear it, 1, don't be seduced. 2, maybe try to change their mind. 3, flee from that. You were playing with some bad juju, my friends.